It's Thursday, September 11th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. We have a great show today. I'm your host here, Jay Scooper, alongside my producer, Jacob Gramenya. And guess what, guys? We have you for the next hour, so let's make it a fun hour. And the best way to do that is by, one, smashing the like button, and two, engaging in the chat, right? This is as much our show as it is your show. We love seeing those chat messages flow in. We'll be reading it throughout the show. I have it on my computer in front of me right here. So let's drop some messages in the chat, and we can keep an ongoing conversation here. I already see some hashtag Nadu crew in the chat. Hashtag Nadu. Excited to have him on the show today. For today's show, a little sneak peek of that rundown. First, we have China Maniac coming up. He's going to talk some college football props. I asked him to focus on the Thursday night game in college football, NC State game. Then we were going to look a little bit at the Friday game as well. I want to give you guys something to sweat out on the Thursday and the Friday while we wait for that massive slate on Saturday and look ahead to NFL on Sundays. So hopefully you guys can find some good value there and pick up some good props, some good numbers from China. And then, of course, like I mentioned off the top, Jeff Nadu will be here. We're going to be taking a look at some college football stuff, week 3 slate, a little bit of narratives, who's on the hot seat for coaching. I have a fun game that I'm going to play with him as well. I call it Main TV, Mute, and Not Watch. So we're going to talk about that. And then finally, we have Hitman coming on for Thursday Night Football. Break down the game a little bit, give out some props and what he likes in that game there. But yeah, that's the rundown for today's show. Quick reminder, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Goes a long way for us here at the channel. And if you've already subscribed and you want to ring that notification bell, please do. It'll notify you every time that we go live. Before we get into our first guest, before we bring up China, just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors over at FanDuel. FanDuel is making week 2 even bigger with a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets this Thursday night. That's right, $2 million. And if I can quickly plug us here, on Monday on our stream, we talked about Caleb Williams' anytime touchdown. If you used this $2 million token, you would have received, I think it was around $250 in bonus bets.
I think it was 210.
210?
But I think it was above 200.
Yeah, pretty sweet stuff here. So here's how it works. You opt in, you place an anytime touchdown score on the Washington versus Green Bay using your profit boost. And if a player you pick scores either the first or the last touchdown, we almost got both with Caleb Williams, you'll earn a share of $2 million in bonus bets, $1 million for each touchdown. My anytime touchdown pick for tonight, I'm going to go with Tucker Kraft. I believe he's plus 230 right now to score a touchdown. That's my pick, Tucker Kraft. It's just one more reason to bet on the NFL with FanDuel. So whether you've got a feeling about that opening drive or you're banking on a clutch finish, now's the time to get in the game. Visit FanDuel.com/forward progress. Download the app today and get started. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 19 plus and physically located in Ontario, and 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in must apply profit boost token on selected market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet, which expires 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/China, Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call Connex Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 or visit connexontario.ca. All right, let's bring up China for this one. He is a professional bettor, 17 years as a gambler, host of the Gambling Chronicles podcast, and is often seen on Circle Back. China, how's it going?
Doing great. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us here today. I'm really looking forward to this because, I asked you to send us some props for the Thursday night game and the Friday night game. I feel like there's always that lull from the Thursday night football game into the weekend in terms of college football and NFL on Sunday, where we're just locked into the couch. So let's start off with this NC State game here. You had a couple props. Let's start with the passing prop. Tell us what you like here and why.
All right. Well, the line opened on CJ Bailey at 250.
Mm-hmm.
hold on a second. I'm getting some bad audio feed.
So are we. I can talk through it quickly if you want. You were mentioning CJ Bailey there.
Right.
North Carolina State playing Wake Forest. North Carolina State heavy favorites here. Let's wait for a second here and get China back in. Before we do that, let's quickly just, you know what? I'm going to promote our Thursday Best Bet show because I know you guys love to bet on sports. So today at around 5 p.m. Eastern, we have Rob Pizzola, Fabian Summer, and Austin Mock on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. You can go check it out, subscribe there. They'll be running through the entire NFL board, just giving their favorite picks. We have an early Best Bet show that looked really good. The Thursday Best Bet show has a lot to live up to because Judah, Flup, and George, we're cooking for that one. So Austin,
Don't
Suma.
forget their names.
Yeah, I know. I was like, who's on? I always call Flup Chris, and it's like, do I say Chris? Do I say Flup? I don't know. But yeah, Austin, Suma, and Rob have a lot to live up to. So 5 p.m. tonight Eastern on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. China, it sounds like you're good. Let's bring him back in here.
All right. Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you well. So yeah, you were talking about CJ Bailey. Fire away.
All right. So CJ Bailey, he opened at about 250, and I like to lean to the under. And somebody pounded that down to about 240. And
Okay.
then somebody bet it back up to 245. So that leaves me as judge, jury, and executioner here. And I like the under here.
All right,
They're
CJ.
7-point favorite. They should be playing from the lead.
All right, CJ Bailey here is passing yards over at FanDuel's 239.5 minus 114. You can find as good as 249.5 at minus 115. You know what? I think I'm going to, China, if you can do me a favor, if you want to just refresh the page, exit, come back in, because I'm getting some pretty bad audio here. Jacob, you getting that as well, or is that just me?
I am getting.
Okay, yeah, let's just do that quickly. Get you out of here and then figure it out. So, first pick of the day here from China, CJ Bailey, under 239.5, minus 114. We have a couple other ones for you as well. I'll just quickly go through the games. He has one more in this NC State game. He has one prop in the Kansas State and Arizona game on Friday. The New Mexico and UCLA game, he has a couple reception props in there. And then finally, he has a Thursday Night Football prop here for us, Washington at Green Bay, which would be fun. Speaking of the Thursday Night Football game, who else is looking forward to the Thursday Night Football game? There's a lot of stuff to talk about here. I can't wait to get into it with Hitman. I'm so curious to see. We don't know any information yet on if Aaron Banks and Zach Tom are going to play, but those are massive needle movers, as we talked about yesterday with Drew Dinsick. I was really liking Green Bay heading into this game, but not knowing those guys' availabilities really leaves it up in the air for me. So, it's pretty interesting stuff. China, let's get an audio check-in for you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, how's that? Is that better?
No, I don't know if this is going to work, Jacob. How do we go about this here?
Do you want me to just rip these AirPods out?
Maybe, yeah. Let's try that first. Because he's saying he's laying 3.5 with Green Bay is wild. I don't think that's that wild if Zach Tom is in. I think Zach Tom is pretty important to this Green Bay offense and this Green Bay line. I think Jordan Love looks good. I think their defense could be a top 10 defense, even if Micah Parsons is only playing half of the snaps. And if he's playing every snap, then they're definitely a top 10 defense. I like this Green Bay team. I'm high on this Green Bay team. I don't know how you can't be high on this Green Bay team. They look really good out the gate. And, I mean, against the Washington defense that is a little shaky. I get their front seven looks a lot better. Javon Kinlaw was a great ad for them. I just really like Green Bay here. I just really like the coaching matchup. I really like the, I like the coaching matchup. I like the team. I like the talent on the field.
Was it Judah on the Commanders, I think?
Yeah. Plus
on
3.5.
the Tuesday show?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Judah's a smart guy. I hate flying in the face of him, but that's what I think. Saying we have a 1-game sample size. Yeah, of course we have we also have like a massive sample size of last year of Green Bay also looking really good. So like, it's not just like Green Bay is magically becoming this good team. They also added Micah Parsons in, which is a massive addition. Like, I really think there's a case to be made that Green Bay is a better team than Washington. And I think 3.5 is a lot, but I mean, if I get a 3, I'm clicking. That's all I'll say. All right, let's try one more time with China here. China, can you hear us? Oh, this is I'm blaming Jacob for this one.
We can't hear you now, China.
You might be muted. Let's try this one more time.
All right.
We lost them. Well, we got a backup plan. We have our Hammer Fantasy League to talk about, I guess. I don't know how much people care about other people's fantasy, but I smoked.
I think because it's the creators pitted against each other, it's got some value to it.
Yeah, and I like my team this year. I feel like I have a great team. I have Josh Allen as my quarterback. I absolutely love that. I was losing to Kanish heading into Sunday Night Football. Like, I was down like 20 points. Then Josh Allen comes out of nowhere, puts up a 40-burg, and
not our. I guess we don't want to harp on other leagues. Anyways, opposite happened to me. It happened in a different league. But my week, I'm very happy to say I was able to take down the top down better flup. I don't think you can hit stale lines when you're drafting in a fantasy football league. So unfortunately, went through him there.
Yeah.
I mean, judging by the preseason, I'm trying to log in and show people the standings right now. Judging by the draft and judging by the reactions, it looks like the real bottom feeders here are going to be Media Mike, the socials guy here at the Hammer, and producer for this show on Mondays, and also Joey Kanish. Now, are you in their division?
I don't even know if I'm in Kanish's division, yes, and I'm in.
So you're in both their divisions.
I'm in Mike's division.
And in my division. Therefore, what's great news is that they both won in week 1. Whereas, so I think they're going to be near the bottom. And they won. So they took an easy win off of somebody else who should be beating them. I also won, and I'm also in their division. So I feel like my candidacy to go far in this is strong. And I feel like yours would therefore be as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, our division looks really good, though. We have five of the top 6 highest points for last week. So maybe it's a little bit wrong there with your assessment of an easier division versus a harder division.
Oh, 1 week.
Well, I mean, Mike, I don't know how he put up 139 points. I think it was because he had Keon Coleman maybe, but.
All right, here we go. On screen now we have the standings so far from the first week of the Hammers Fantasy Football League. We've got... I actually don't know the names, but I do know that we did have a win for Kanish and Mike in this division. Or did Kanish lose?
Kanish lost to me.
Somebody else is Kanish for dinner. Kanish lost?
Kanish lost to me.
Oh, okay. So here's
you missed.
Here's where I was wrong. Kanish had the big lead going into Monday Night Football, which you just mentioned. Okay, I understand. Well, at least Mike won.
Yeah, it was actually a great performance from Mike and George in our group chat, saying Kanish is going to be 1-0. Ultimately just mushing the shit out of that
ultimate
that
fucking mush from those guys.
It's I'll take that though. I'll happily take that.
Yeah, I mean, take the wins where you can get them. I took down Flup, so you would think that would be one of the easier ones, but again, like I said, there's going to be 2 easier ones. On the other side, it's a pretty stacked other end of the standings. A lot of good teams. I think Hitman put a pretty good team together. I think Rob also has a team on that side, though he had a very poor showing in his first week. GSEC, I think, is a pretty good team there as well. So it's going to be a pretty competitive division. What's on the line here? I forget.
I don't even think did we even like stake anything. We didn't even have like a last place pledge. I think it's just pride and to make fun of each other. I think that's like the main thing that we're looking at here.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I do enjoy that. I do enjoy it.
I don't know. It's crazy that I'm staking more on these Hammer Draft Series videos that we did where we draft like individual players for player awards than on this fantasy league. I'm in 8 of 9 of those drafts, 250 each American. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a lot to deal with. I just got word, though, that Nadu is going to come on here a little bit earlier, so that'll be good. Jacob, if you can keep an eye out for Nadu over on that side of things. What are we going to talk about with Nadu today? We're going to talk about some storylines heading into college football. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to having Nadu on. I haven't talked to him in a while. It's been a long time, but
here he is.
All right, perfect.
We're going to just preview him.
All right. Well, he's the host of the Sit Down Pod with Jeff Nadu, one of the largest crime podcasts in the world. He's a bettor. He's a ball knower. He's a great time on the Twitter streets, and also he's the number one. He has more game in his pinky than I have in my entire body. So bring up Jeff Nadu here. Jeff, how's it going?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. Glad to see you again. How are things? Everything's good with you?
Yeah, I can't complain. Living the dream.
Yeah.
I'm hearing an echo. Maybe I have to fix that on my end.
You sound good to us. I think.
All right. I'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you. I'm just curious. Like, we saw you on the Barstool Beach House a couple of weeks ago, and you spit some good game. What's the secret? What's the secret sauce?
Confidence. You just got to walk up to a girl you see that's attractive. Just start talking to her. Most women just want a normal person who can make her laugh, talk about whatever. It's really not that serious.
Yeah, so I shouldn't be going up to girls talking about what they think about the college football slate this week.
No.
Shouldn't be.
And also, I think a lot of men make the mistake of going right with, "Oh, you're so beautiful." Or most women know that already. They don't need you to tell them. You just need to be confident. Don't act weird. Just be normal.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate the knowledge, Jeff Nadu, bringing us the relationship knowledge, the Riz knowledge. But we didn't just bring you on for that. We brought you on for some college football knowledge as well. Let's start with what I think is the biggest story in the nation right now. It's this South Florida team that's kind of been incredible. Double-digit underdog win on the road last week against Florida, heading into the Swamp. Nothing to scoff at here. I'm curious what you make of this South Florida team after these first 2 weeks. And then currently they're 17.5-point dogs going into Miami. Do you see upset potential here for this South Florida team?
I think you have to think you will. Do I think they will? No. I mean, to do what they did last week and then bounce back and do it again this week, really difficult. But I identified them before the season as a G5 team that I thought could win the AAC and maybe be that representative. They have a good quarterback, a great defense. I don't know that they've even played their best game yet. I mean, they've had 18 penalties through 2 games. They haven't statistically been insane in any category. I think we've still haven't necessarily seen the best from them. They're strong on the defensive and offensive line, which you need to be. But we haven't seen Byron Brown really have that amazing game. I think it's still out there and can happen.
Yeah, fair enough. It could happen. Let's go more particularly about this game. How do you feel like they match up against this Miami team? Obviously, again, massive underdogs here. Plus 520 at FanDuel. Again, 17.5 points on the spread for South Florida. Do you feel like this is a favorable matchup for either unit, or is this just going to be one of this is going to be tough on both sides of the ball for them?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out Miami because defensively the last couple of years they've been horrible. I think they made some strides hiring Corey Heatherman from Minnesota. Is that defense legit? We've only seen them in virtually one game that mattered. Offensively, they're obviously not going to be as potent as they were last year, but Beck is good. He's in a good spot there. But I kind of relate. I mean, they did a good job against Lagway, so why wouldn't they do a good job against Carson Beck? It's just hard to face this athleticism and ability week after week. The number moved quick from 15 to 17. And to 18, now it's back to 17.5. I think taking the points is probably the play, but I worry in these kind of games, they just get worn down as the game goes on. Miami's athleticism just kind of overtakes things. But again, they've been very good in 2 games against 2 really good teams. Remember, Jason, Boise was probably the G5 favorite. They completely demolished them and really never had much trouble as far as not covering against Florida.
Yeah, no, it was again like this South Florida team has been one of the funnest stories to watch and track. I had it on my main screen there. I was watching that last drive. I know they got the benefits of like a couple bad penalties from Florida on the other side of the ball, but like, hey, you can only do as much as the other team's giving you, and when the other team's giving you that, like to go down, march down the field, win the game, regardless of those two penalties. So
They're playing with house money,
exactly.
Right? So. And they have confidence. They're well coached. You know, they don't believe that any team is going to run them off the field, which is really impressive.
Yeah, and that's what you want in like a 500, 600, plus 600, plus 500 underdog here. Like if I see like a plus 600, plus 650 on game day, I feel like I'm just gonna have to click it just to watch the game. You know, like
I took Army last week on the money line.
Nice.
I thought that was probably the most live dog just because of spot and who they were playing, and it's a horrible spot for K-State. But I don't want to get greedy with South Florida. I feel like if you missed it last week, maybe just avoid it this week.
Yeah, fair enough here. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about some coaching hot seat stuff. I want to ask you one or the other. I feel like it's an easy answer, but both guys are feeling a ton of heat from the fan base. Billy Napier of Florida or Kalen DeBoer for Alabama. I mean, like obviously Kalen DeBoer is the fresh face, so it's a little harder to like have him on the hot seat considering the amount of money that is implied if they were to fire him. But we've seen like a video of the Powerball. One of the ladies is an Alabama fan saying like, hey, if I win the Powerball, $60 million is going to the program so we can get rid of Kalen DeBoer. Both guys have had a tough start to the season. Who do you feel like is more on the hot seat?
Kalen DeBoer's coached 15 games.
Yeah.
He's won 10. I'm not really worried there. I am concerned, though, for some of the things I've heard, and I think a lot of people have heard, just about night before games. You got kids running around the hotel and not fulfilling curfew requirements and things like that. I don't think there's anyone on the hot seat. DeBoer knows how to coach. He'll be fine. Billy Napier, though, is 20-20 in 3 years in a game or two at Florida. He just lost a South Florida game he should never lose against Florida. I didn't understand that coaching hire to begin with. I don't think anybody thought it would really work there. Billy Napier is a G5 type of coach. He's not a guy that should be coaching at a top 20 program every year.
Yeah, no, of course. And also like the amount that we're going to find out from both these teams, like not as much from Alabama this week, but yeah.
I think you also have to remember Florida State is going to be very good this season. They went from being really poor, obviously, made some wholesale changes, brought in a lot of transfers. They'll probably go from being, 2-10. They'll probably win 7, 8, 9 games this year.
Yeah. All right.
They're not a bad team.
Yeah. No, that's a great point there. Let's move on then. Let's talk a little bit about some marquee games. First game I want to talk to you about is this Clemson Georgia Tech game. Clemson, we saw out the gate really struggle offensively last week. They weren't able to get a lead until the second half. I mean, it could be a tight game, but do you see this as maybe a get right spot for this Clemson offense? Obviously, it's a tough game for them. Georgia Tech is a good team, but yeah, Clemson versus Georgia Tech. Let me know your thoughts on breakdown.
I think as a bettor, you have to realize sometimes when you like a dog, you just kind of miss the best price and you can't bet it. If you're coming in and betting Georgia Tech at this price, I don't really know what to tell you. You could have got a much better number days ago. You got to recognize you missed it. Am I ready to come in on Clemson? No. I don't think they've looked good at all, either in that first game or last week against Troy. I mean, for large parts of that game, Troy was winning and commanding the game. I think we've seen – I know they made the playoff last year, but that's not exactly hard being in the ACC. I think some of the stuff is passed Dabo Swinney by. The offense looks boring again. Georgia Tech, though I'm not as high on just because I think a lot of people were high on them. I think it was a little overvalued, a little overrated. You missed the number, though, in Georgia Tech, so I have nothing here.
Yeah, I'm looking at my odds screen right now. They opened at plus 188 on that Sunday morning, and Georgia Tech got bet all the way down, currently plus 128 on FanDuel. Do you think there's going to be a number that's like too far for Clemson? Clemson right now is minus 154. At what point do you feel like, this number's gone too far? Like I might have to click Clemson.
Look, I think if it gets 3, I'll consider it. Again, I like Klubnik. But I also will point out I like Haynes King. So Haynes King didn't play last week. They said it was precautionary,
Yep.
and they played a patsy as far as I remember.
Mhm.
I'm sure he's fine. It could be a little concerning there.
Yeah.
I think at 3, you'd have to consider it. But again, I just feel like Clemson just kind of got their feet in the mud right now.
Yeah. Plus -3.5 for Clemson, plus 100. So it might wick there soon. Let's flip over to another game. I'm billing this as like one of the more underrated games on this slate. Vanderbilt going into South Carolina. Vanderbilt right now on the road, 4.5-point dogs. Tell me, break down this game for me here.
Yeah, I mean, Vandy's been a great dog. Covered, I think, 8 of 10 getting points. With Pavia there, they've just been kind of one of those giant slayers. South Carolina, another team, a lot of people really high on. I think there's stuff to be excited about. Am I ready to just say they're going to compete and be a top 3 team in the SEC? No, I still think they're a little bit away from that. This is about where I had the number personally. For as good as Vandy was last year, covering big numbers, got blown out by a South Carolina team that probably isn't as good as the one this year. So I lean South Carolina at 4. Maybe it's a little low, 4.5, 5. Maybe I had it, but again, another game I think is very difficult.
Yeah, of course, and like we mentioned in the previous game there, Vanderbilt opened up at I think they're around plus 240-ish, bet all the way to down to plus 146, minus 178 on both sides of the ball there. Jeff, I have you for a couple more minutes. I have a game I want to play with you. I call it watch, mute, and skip. So for me, the ideal TV setup is as many TVs as possible. But if you were to only have two TVs, I'm going to list you out 3 games. You're going to tell me which one you're going to be watching on the main screen, sound on, which one you're going to be watching on your second screen, muted, and then the one game you're going to leave off of both screens. So I have Georgia at Tennessee, South Florida at Miami, and Texas A&M at Notre Dame. Which is your watch, which is your mute, and which is your skip?
I'm watching Georgia, Tennessee. Off South Carolina, Vandy. Or no.
Sorry, it was Notre Dame and Texas A&M.
That's all.
Okay.
And then I'll mute Florida, South Florida.
All right. I'm curious. What's your go-to college football setup? Do you have one TV, 2 TVs, multiple TVs? Do you quad box? How do you watch college football on Saturdays?
If I can be honest, I don't really watch. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of watching games that I bet on a lot of the time. You know what I do on a Saturday? I sit in front of my computer and I do my video for my mob show. I sit here. I have a game on kind of on the side, but I just kind of check it momentarily or once in a while. And I watch games at night sometimes, like when I'm out. But I do a lot of watching after the fact.
All right, that's a lot of people I've talked to so far on the show have said that. I just love being implanted in my couch on a Saturday with maybe a Stella in hand, enjoying some football.
I do that at night, probably, because I'm out or whatever. But during the day, I just have stuff I'm doing, so I still have to do those things.
Of course. I'm gonna ask you this question here. Which game do you feel like you're most looking forward to this weekend in terms of seeing the result of? And I want to say it doesn't have to be a game that you want to watch in particular, or just a game where you have a lot of question marks where you feel like the result will give you a bunch of answers. Is there any certain game that you're looking at, or team or unit of a team that you're looking at where you have a lot of questions with them and you want to get answers this week? Who would that be? Which team would that be and why?
Well, I think we kind of talked about it. Florida.
Yeah.
How do they bounce back, right? I mean, as I said, South Florida is a solid team, but you should never be losing to them as 17-point favorites. We know Napier struggled. Do they kind of take that step forward against a good LSU team? You got to be in that football game. I also will throw in A&M. I like Marcel Reed, the quarterback there. I like them as a group. Can they go on the road and be in that game? Has Reed taken the next step as a passer and as a quarterback? Game that I'm most excited about, though, in general, Arkansas, Ole Miss. I think that could be – there are athletes all over that field. Both teams top 20 in pace. That could be first to 40 wins.
All right. Fair enough. Let's flip over and talk a little bit of Thursday night football here. I'm just going to put you on the spot. FanDuel has this great promotion where if you bet on a TD score and they score the first or last touchdown, you'll get a share of $1 million depending on if they score the first or last, split between everyone else who's bet that. I picked Tucker Kraft for my touchdown score. Do you have a touchdown scorer that you think has a chance to score the first or last that you like, that you would place your bonus boost on for this promotion?
Well, I'll say I like the Commanders in the game.
Okay.
I like what I saw to Deebo Samuel last week.
Okay.
10 targets. He had 7 receptions, almost 80 yards. I think he's a very important part of that offense now that he's there under Cliff Kingsbury. Obviously, we know Terry's going to get a lot of the eyes, but Deebo, we know he's kind of a shifty kid. I like him a lot. Give me Deebo Samuel.
All right, locking in Deebo Samuel for Jeff Nadu. I love that. Are you going to be watching this game, or is this a game that you're not going to be watching? Like, how big of a fan of you? I know you like football a lot. I know you like NFL a lot. Like, if you had to pick between college and NFL, do you like just try and watch as many games as possible, or?
Well, tonight I'll have this game on. I'm going to my mother's for dinner, so once I come home, I'll watch it. But yeah, I don't mean to be this guy. A lot of the stuff I'll watch after the fact.
Yeah.
I mean, the NFL have like Red Zone on a Sunday. I bet. I like that kind of stuff. Would I sit here and like watch this over hanging out with a girl or something like that? No, I don't really understand that type of thing. I don't get these people that like will sit in front of the TV for 12 hours with no particular reason and watch football. As I get older, I don't really understand that.
That's me, Jeff. So maybe I can explain it to you one day, but I don't have a good answer for you.
10 years ago, you're significantly younger than me.
Right.
I feel like I was that guy.
Yeah.
I kind of realized that my life will still go on regardless of what happened.
All right, fair enough. I have one more question for you before you head out. I feel like there's a lot of questions. Not questions surrounding the Green Bay Packers, but there was a lot of movement after that Week 1 win over the Detroit Lions. They looked really good in that game. Are you a believer in the Green Bay Packers? Do you think that they are firmly a top 2 team in the NFC? I know I don't want to throw out your Eagles just yet. The Eagles didn't look too great in Week 1. I'm going to chalk that up to like almost over preparation, the way that they weren't pushing downfield and attacking over the middle. But yeah, like the Green Bay Packers, are they your second best team in the NFC after that performance in Week 1?
We'll throw in the Eagles didn't have their best player on defense,
of course,
which is
ridiculous.
Concerning.
Yeah,
he'll be back. The NFC is bad. I mean, if we're being honest, I thought the Lions were going to struggle a little bit without Ben Johnson figuring that out. I would say the Packers surely are the number 2 team, but there's not a lot of real good teams in the NFC. So we're kind of hamstrung to find a bunch of them.
Yeah,
I still have some wonder about Jordan Love, but he's been solid, very serviceable. The receiver core has been good enough. I think it was more with just Detroit couldn't move the ball. Did Green Bay look earth-shattering? I'm not sure they did.
Yeah, could be a little bit of both there. I'm just excited to see Micah Parsons get more snaps, like playing half the downs. Sure. Once he starts getting in, that defense is looking really scary for me. Jeff, I appreciate you joining us today. You can follow Jeff Nadu on Twitter at Jeff Nadu. Appreciate you talking with us here today, Jeff. We'll talk soon.
You're doing your thing, my man.
Appreciate you. Talk later. Bye.
See you, bro.
All right. That was Jeff Nadu, guys. One's in the chat for Jeff Nadu. That was a great little segment there. Hashtag Nadu. Hashtag Miller time.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
What is your ideal setup for watching football? Because you don't like watching Red Zone, but you still claim to watch every snap of every game.
I do watch every snap of it. If you watch Red Zone, you don't watch every snap of every game. So the ideal setup depends on how many games are on at the 1 p.m. slate. 4 o'clock's easy. 4 p.m. slate, it's super easy to watch.
Well, naturally.
Games. Yeah. So the 1 p.m. slate, there was, I believe, 8 games this past week. I quad box. I have 3 TV set up. Here, maybe actually I'll send you the picture. I quad box 4 on my main screen. I have like a 70-inch TV. And I have 2 32-inchers.
You have the Apple TV box.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. I have that too.
I have 2 on the side, and I have the two games there. That leaves me with 6 games.
You have like the one main one and then 2 on the side that
Correct.
fit with it. Okay.
Yes. And then I have a monitor underneath my TV that I have 2 games split screen on.
Is that just on the floor?
No. I have like a TV console. One sec. Let me
send me a photo.
Yeah, I think it's in our.
I finally convinced my fiance to allow me to add more monitors to the living room setup.
It's the best way to do things. It's really the best.
I know. When I was in university, there was 3 TVs, and that was great.
Yeah. I just sent it to you right now. But yeah, like if you're like, in my opinion, you're doing it wrong. If you can have multiple TVs, you need to have multiple TVs set up. I've seen setups with 5 TVs where there's one main screen and then 4 on the side, or sorry, 2 on each side. I think that's the best way to do it. Chat, how do you guys watch football? I'm curious to see. I'm being called a certified ball knower for hating red zone. I think I would agree with that. I would definitely.
I am definitely a red zone enjoyer. It's on one of the 4 boxes on my Apple TV device. Here is the setup that Jason has in question. So
you guys can rate it out of 10.
Yeah.
See the monitor? I pull out my drawer so that like it sits perfectly.
I like this. I like the 3 TVs. I'm not sure about the monitor just sitting in an open drawer.
The monitor is only for like when there's no bye weeks. Often when there's bye weeks, we can have like if there's 7 games, I'll slap up a computer on there. The problem is the monitor is too big. It cuts off the middle screen if it's sitting on top of the TV console. So that's the idea behind it.
I feel like the TVs, these 3 should be higher to allow for this one to
No.
just sit on.
No. My TVs are already too high, actually. I don't know if you guys ever been on r/TV too high, but I feel like I can be on.
They are probably a little too high, but that monitor's got, they cannot sit on a drawer.
Why? It fits perfectly.
I don't think it can just sit on a freaking drawer.
I think it fits perfectly.
That is a house. I mean this with no disrespect. That is the house of somebody who is not living with a woman. I'll say that. Well,
I know plenty of people who live with women and have TV setups similar to that. So they just depends on how lenient you are and how much you fight for it. Pick your battles. That's a battle I'll eventually pick. I'll tell you that much.
TV in the drawer.
TV in the drawer. Yeah. TV in the drawer.
All right. Let's move to the next guest.
All right. Let's move to the next. Is he here? Oh, do we have to? Do we have to talk to Hitman?
We gotta.
Fine. Let's bring on Hitman. He's the best prop bettor I know, friend of the show. Always on our 4th quarter watch along, which, by the way, let me quickly tell you about our watch alongs because Hitman will be there tonight. It's a tradition at the Hammer Betting Network. We have everyone from Forward Progress come on, and all you guys jump into the chat, and we do our Thursday night and Monday night watch along. Tonight, G-Sack George will be there alongside Alex Moretto, and also myself. I'll be there as well, so don't worry. I'll be there for some fun. We have a couple guests, including the man coming on your screen in a second, Hitman, who always comes on for the 4th quarter, always sweating 30, 40, 50 different bets. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll give out some best bets for tonight, build an SGP. That's tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. Hitman, get on up here. How's it going? The Army shirt today. Did you bet them as dogs last week or what?
No. I am the head coach of Army, though, in my NCAA dynasty.
Oh, my God. The wife allows you to play. Wait, first of all, you still have time for NCAA dynasty? Like with prop betting and the wife?
I have a league with a bunch of school buddies. We advance, we do like a week every 2 days or something. So I find I just need a half hour every 2 days to play a quick game. So,
all right. That's actually really cool. I love that. Some good stuff with the high school
I'm happy to be on.
Yep.
Happy to bail you guys out because I got the messages saying like, Hitman, come on early. We need you early. I mean, is it that I bailed Zola his entire network last year with my picks? Now I got to come up 15 minutes early.
It seems like you're the savior. 15 minutes early. I think it's 3 minutes early, Hitman, but good try there. But yeah, I appreciate you as a company man. Let's dive into this Thursday. Wait, before we dive into the Thursday night football game, for those of you who don't know, Hitman used to be a top 50 Madden player. And this past Monday, you had a great point in terms of it was the Chicago Bears had the ball on like the 1 yard line. It was right after Caleb Williams got tackled when he should have dove in the end zone. Don't get me started on that. You made a great point on 1 minute what Minnesota should do to burn that extra 2-minute warning, that free timeout for Chicago, which ended up not helping them because they didn't kick the ball at the end zone. Whatever, that's a different story. But yeah, tell the chat what you were saying because this is like insane ball knowledge. I love this.
Well, it might actually be against the rules, so it might not even be ball knowledge. But I know in Madden that it worked. So I was like, well, maybe it works in the NFL. But there was 2:04 left. Obviously, the Bears needed to score before the 2-minute warning. So I said, if you're the Vikings, you just intentionally line up one of your defensive tackles behind the quarterback. He snaps the ball. You instantly grab him, hold him up for 2 seconds or whatever. The clock goes to 2 minutes. You get a offsides encroachment penalty. You probably get a personal foul. And it ends up dancing the ball halfway, which means it goes from the yard line to the half-yard line. But you get the clock under the 2-minute warning, which is a massive benefit at that point. So we don't know if it's against the rules or not, but I thought that it was at least a good theory. I don't know if the NFL would have just said, we're going to put the clock back at 2:04.
Yeah.
And if you do it again,
it's a touchdown.
It's an automatic touchdown or something like that. That might be in the rules, but I thought it was a good game theory.
I love that, though. You always got to test the limits. It reminds me of when I think it was Bill Belichick told all of his offensive linemen to hold. Like, I think there was, I forget what the situation was, but the game was ending. They wanted to take a safety. I think there was like 12 seconds left or like a lot of time left. So they just literally all 5 linemen just held the defensive players and just
exactly
flags everywhere. And then they changed that rule.
Like, if you're at the 50-yard line and there's 8 seconds left and you need to prevent the field goal, why would you not just hold all the receivers, get a 5-yard penalty?
Yeah.
And then the clock goes to 3 seconds, and then the ball's at the 45 and probably out of field goal range. Now, they might have changed that to where you could call on sportsmanlike conduct.
Mm.
And if they can, then obviously that's not a good decision. But yeah, we'll have to check the rules on that, Jason.
Yeah, we'll have to check the rules. Maybe get you in as a head coach, or at least get these head coaches to start playing Madden, so then get a little bit creative like you are, Hitman. Let's get a little creative with the Thursday night football game. We have Washington taking on Green Bay. Again, like I feel like I've asked everyone this because this is like the marquee game of the week heading into Sunday night. So the Thursday game, like what have you made of this Green Bay Packers team? Is there an overreaction in market here? They're minus 135 right now, minus 102 on FanDuel. Do you think they're legit though? Do you think this is a deserved upgrade for them?
Yes, I still have them as the second best team in the NFC behind Philadelphia. I did bet some of the early Washingtons. I mean, it opened on Sunday night at plus 4.5, which I thought was a big overreaction. I definitely leaned towards it once it got to 3.5 on Monday, and obviously the market seems to agree it's at like 3.25 now. I still have concerns about one Green Bay offensive line tonight, potentially missing 2 starters.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some concerns about their secondary. Obviously, their potentially weak pass rush is going to make up for some of their questions in the secondary. But, yeah, overall, this is the second best team in the NFC. And I think Washington, I would probably put up there with probably the Rams in the discussion for the third best team.
All right, I think that's fair to say here. So is
and
it
Detroit?
Yes,
potentially. Yep.
Is it still Detroit? Are you sure? Kanish is getting in your ear too much, I think.
I'm not sure. But I think it's a discussion that you could have with those 3 teams: Washington, Detroit, and Rams. Who's 3 to 5?
Yeah. All right. Let's touch on those Green Bay injuries that you mentioned. Zach Tom, Aaron Banks, questionable to play tonight. So it seems like you're pretty confident that they're not playing, that they won't be starting, and if they do play, they're going to be very limited. Or what's the deal there?
I would lean that those guys don't play. Green Bay historically is the most conservative organization as far as injuries are. Like, they don't push guys. Now on a short week, I would lean that we're missing both Green Bay linemen. All
right. How do you feel like Green Bay will handle that situation then? Like with their backup guard and backup tackle playing for them? Like, is there any prop plays that you look at? I know you don't really do tackle markets too much, but do you think that'll affect, like, I don't know, like some rushing yard totals, maybe increase Jordan Love's total rushing yards, something along those lines?
Yeah,
like,
it might take away from some efficiency with Josh Jacobs. I definitely lean towards Jacobs under rush yards in the high 70s. I also think that coming into this year, there was a lot of talk about Jordan Love and his passing volume and how run heavy they were last year. And there was a lot of people expecting that Green Bay would be pass heavier than last year just because solely Jordan Love was banged up for so often last year that was why they were so run heavy. So I kind of lean towards Love overs like in the pass attempts markets, pass yards markets, and I would lean towards maybe some Jacobs unders, just saying that Green Bay might not be as run heavy as last year, and I could see a game where he's a little bit less efficient because of the O-line injuries.
29.5 right now at FanDuel for that pass attempt market for Jordan Love, minus 146, heavy juice towards the over. Let's talk a little bit about more props that you're kind of interested in here. Let's talk about this Green Bay wide receiver situation. We didn't see a lot of Matthew Golden usage last week. He was obviously a guy who people really liked coming into the season, being a young wide receiver. It seems like this is Jaden Reed's kind of like. See, I feel like every year early on, Jaden Reed gets slightly disrespected, if that's fair to say, because like he's only been in the league for 3 years, but like this happened last year too, where it felt like his receiving totals were just too low. But he seems to be the wheel in that offense in the passing game that keeps things churning. 38.5 right now. Jaden Reed minus 112 both sides, and Matthew Golden is at 34.5 minus 112 both sides. If you had to bet one over and one under, who would it be and why?
You know, Jason, I kind of lean towards both unders, to be honest. Jaden Reed did not have many routes last week. Now, a lot of that was because of the amount of 12 personnel that Green Bay ran in the game, and he's just a slot receiver only. But like maybe that's part of their game plan early in the year, just because Jaden Reed is playing with like a pretty serious injury right now. So I do wonder how much of that is sticky that Green Bay is going to run, because they're very they're very deep. Like they don't have a true number one wide receiver or like star. Tucker Kraft's solid, but like a star tight end either. But they're very deep. Like Luke Musgrave is a good second tight end. Jaden Reed at your third wide receiver, and Dontavian Wicks is your fourth. It's not bad, and they're a team that can be very multiple with their personnel. So I don't know, like that might have been sticky that they ran more 12 personnel early in the year. So, and Matthew Golden, he's a little banged up with an ankle. Now he's practicing, but again, Green Bay is the most conservative organization in the league when it comes to injuries. So honestly, like I would kind of lean towards both guys under. If I had to pick a Green Bay receiver that I think is the most undervalued, it probably is Romeo Doubs. I bet his over last week.
Yeah.
At 37.5, 38.5. I think it's in the low 40s right now. Like, I'm not saying I'm betting that this week, but if I was forced to look towards a Green Bay guy that I think can outperform expectations, I would say Romeo Doubs would be my guy.
Yeah, he had 11 more snaps than the closest wide receiver in Matthew Golden last week. 18 receiving snaps. Love that stuff. I guess a big thing for the other team, Washington Commanders, was there was kind of like a messy situation. I don't want to call it a messy situation. I guess it's a messy situation in the offseason where Brian Robinson, who was their feature back last year, wanted out. He got traded. And people were wondering, is it going to be Austin Eckler? Is it going to be Bill Krosky-Merritt? Is it going to be Chris Rodriguez come Sunday? Rodriguez, healthy scratch. Boom. You're not playing today. And it seems like Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt got all of the run there. How do you feel like it's going to shake up between these two guys, Austin Eckler and Bill Krosky-Merritt, in this game?
You know, I lean towards Krosky-Merritt unders just because now there's a chance that Chris Rodriguez is active for this game. I mean, if I had to bet on it, I'd probably say slight favorite that he's not active. And if he is active, he's the third running back. Like he's just going to get like maybe one or two carries at the goal line, but like that matters to take one or two carries away from a guy that's in a committee right now. And it would probably become at the expense of Krosky-Merritt. So, and Green Bay's run defense was really good last week. Yeah. Like what they did against the Detroit Lions run game was pretty impressive. So I would lean more towards, I would be slightly down on Bill, as they call him, in this game. And I would be slightly over on Eckler leaning, and specifically in the pass game.
Yeah.
I think that Eckler could be slightly undervalued at like 23.5 receiving yards, or I believe it's around right now.
23.5 minus 112 at FanDuel. Receptions 2.5 minus 186 towards the over at FanDuel as well. That brings us to the SGP portion of the show. I'm going to give you 2 legs, and I want you to complete the other 2 legs of this SGP. And you mentioned one guy I really like in this game. It was Austin Eckler in the passing game. So I want to start off this SGP. It's going to be a 4-legger, and I want to take Austin Eckler, and we're going to go 4+ receptions. If we can go down to receptions, alternate receptions. Yeah, we're going to go, where is he? You just missed him up a little bit. Yeah, so Austin Eckler, alternate receptions, not receiving yards. You're good. It's all good. It's all good.
He's here. He was at the bottom. I was right.
Yeah. There we go. And then I want to get some like inverse correlation, and I want to get some rushing props. I want to take Jaden Daniels, and I want to take his over on rushing yards, just the 44.5 minus 112 here, because I think with how much, I like this. I just think that they're going to be passing a lot of dump offs. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be ejecting the pocket and scrambling a little bit here, as he always does. So those are my first 2 legs. Hey man, how would you finish this parlay?
Let's go with some reverse correlation and go with Jordan Love over passing yards.
Okay.
Talked about how Green Bay might be looking to throw a little bit more this year, and he could be potentially a little undervalued after last year. And the reverse correlation in it is we'll go Jaden Reed under receiving yards.
Okay.
And we'll just bank that maybe Jordan Love has a big game, and he does it in some more 12 personnel looks, or Jaden Reed could. I mean, he's playing injured. I mean, he could potentially get hurt in this game or re-aggravate something or something. So, we'll go with that.
Hitman, it's a sickness you have, cheering for guys and wanting the guys to get
Not
hurt.
cheering for it.
It's
I'm just mentioning
disgusting.
that he is at risk of potential re-aggravation.
All right, sure. I believe you there. So the SGP that we looked at today is Austin Eckler, 4+ receptions, Jaden Daniel over 44.5 receiving yards, Jordan Love over 229.5 passing yards, and then Jaden Reed under 38.5 receiving yards. That gets us at around 15-1. If I were to rate, what would you rate this parlay out of 10, Hitman? I give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
I'd rate my 2 legs a 9, and I would rate yours probably a 5, just neutral.
All right, so that's almost right down the middle there, around the 6.5. So perfect, hey man, I appreciate it. Any more prop looks for us before we head out the door? Anything we didn't touch on that you want to mention?
No, I think that's pretty much covers it.
All right.
We'll see you on the show if we have any live stuff. I know I haven't had any live stuff so far, but there's always a chance.
You don't know how Ben Johnson acts when he's down 2 scores, if he kicks it right away or if he goes for the touchdown.
Tell you what, I know people give you a lot of shit. Sometimes it's not deserved, Jason, but that was probably deserved right over there.
All right, fair enough. If those of you who don't know what we're talking about the fun time we had on the Monday Night Football stream, you guys should definitely check it out, because Hitman will be there on Forward Progress there every fourth quarter, Monday night and Thursday night. Hitman, quickly before you head out, I'm going to ask you your first TD scores. Give me one for each team.
For Green Bay, we'll go with Luke Musgrave.
Love
and
it.
Just maybe there's more 12 personnel and it goes to Musgrave. That's got to be great odds, I can imagine.
60-1, which
Yeah.
I absolutely, I love that.
And then for Washington, is Chris Rodriguez even listed?
I don't think so.
If he was listed,
It doesn't look like it.
I would have said him, because you get a refund, obviously, if he's inactive. So I'm passing with no Chris Rodriguez.
You have to.
I can't pass.
You can't pass. You have to pick one player. I'm not asking you to bet it. Just pick one player. Be it Austin Eckler. Be it Zach
Austin
Ertz.
Eckler still gets the majority of the usage for Washington, and it ends up being Eckler.
All right, sounds good. I'm just looking at the board.
Especially because Eckler played early in the game and Krosky Merritt didn't even play till the third drive for Washington last week. So if that is sticky, it makes sense that Eckler would be a decent bet at that price. So actually, now thinking about it, I don't hate that.
All right, Austin Eckler, 15-1. And if you want to bet on Luke Musgrave, you want to do it over at FanDuel. 60-1 is by far the best price to market. The closest price I can find is 40-1. Then a couple other books have like a disgusting 27-1 on Luke Musgrave first touchdown. Don't bet that. 27-1. If you want to bet it, good. Go bet it over at FanDuel. Hitman, I appreciate you. We'll talk later tonight.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, talk soon. See you, Hitman. That was a great little segment from Hitman coming in to save the day. Man. What a good guy Hitman is.
I mean, save the day. You could ruin the day if you tail those. Jesus.
I know. Fair enough. Tail responsibly. Tail at your own discretion. I think he gave a good look, though, there with the receiving yards unders for Jaden Reed and Matthew Golden. Before we head out, a reminder, Saturday Prop Show. I'm live with Hitman every Saturday. But this week, Jacob's going to be replacing me because I am busy. I'm at a wedding. So, yeah. If you want
views are about to go up, Jason.
I don't doubt it. But yeah, Hitman's Prop Show. You're gonna want to be there, and you're gonna want to have your FanDuel open to the screen and bet because those lines like literally instantly move. So yeah, if you're looking to get some quick CLV on some stuff, you're probably gonna want to go there. No guarantee that they're gonna win, but I feel pretty confident that you're gonna get CLV on almost every single bet we give out. Not we. Hitman gives out.
I promise you, if you tail a Hitman play, you'll get CLV.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
or good CLV.
Yeah, that wraps it up for us here today. Before I head out, I want to remind you guys that on every Friday we have, if you're a fan of college football, we have one of the best college football shows in the world. Brad Powers and Joey Knish are live Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern time on the Hit the Books YouTube channel. Come for Brad's insights and Knish's off-color, brainless remarks. They answer a ton of questions on all the games you're curious about. They give out best bets, some prop bets as well. Again, Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Hit the Books YouTube channel. And then coming up tomorrow, who do we have on tomorrow? Today's Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. Do you know who we have on tomorrow? No? I'm just trying to fill.
It's your job, man.
I know. I'm just trying to filibuster here because I forgot to write.
All right, while you look up.
No, I got it. We have George. How did I forget about this? We have G-Stack George coming on the show to talk about some Survivor stuff. Very interesting week in Survivor because the Ravens, ton of good future value, but by far the best team that you want to take this week. And
I hope he gets cooked on the watch along tonight so that you can roast him.
Wait, why?
I just hope if he has a bad day, you can cook him on the Friday show tomorrow.
Balance of probabilities, he probably will. He's not the best bettor in the world. No, I'm kidding, George. I love you. And then after George.
Speaking of the watch along, like Jason said, it's tonight. What time?
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern time tonight with G-Stack George, Alex Moretto. Just throw the thumbnail as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'll be there as well. It'll be a great time. Don't worry. If you're worried about being entertained, I'll be there. You'll have a good time. Austin Mock as well coming in for Talk College Football, preview the weekend slate. And then finally, we're going to have a special guest on who we're going to keep it a secret. We're going to make it a little boxing focus for the Canelo fight this weekend. So we'll have a little bit of fun with that.
I don't even know who it is.
Well, it's a
big
secret.
Surprise for me.
It's a big surprise.
For me as well.
All right.
Also tomorrow, circle back, 8 a.m.
There you go. You haven't recorded yet. Jacob's got to get out of here right now. He's like, hurry, guys, leave. All right, let's
circle back, 8 a.m. tomorrow. Usual crew, myself, Joey Knish, Chris Dierkes, and Mr. Peanut Butter. So it should be a great one.
Mr. Peanut Butter. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Do us a favor on the way out. Smash the like button. If half the people who like the show, if half people watching like the show right now, we would double the amount of likes we had. So please do that. It goes a long way. It's one click. Goes a long way for us in the algorithm. Hit that, smash that like button. And if you made it this far in the show, this is your first time viewing it, hit that subscribe button as well. If you missed the GRP video, go check the Hammers YouTube channel out right now. Go watch that GRP video. We're out snake hunting, whatever the word is. GRP is doing his best. What's that guy's name? Crocodile Dundee impression. Is that who I'm thinking of? Anyways, he's out hunting for snakes. Big reptile guy. It's a very funny video. Great to relive as well. And yeah, do us a favor. Tell your friends about the show. Goes a long way for us. And again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow on the Hammer Daily.